Good afternoon everybody. Well, today I'm in the small village of West Kilbride, which is located on the coast and overlooks the Firth of Clyde. I'm currently in West Kilbride Glen, so we're going to pass by some lovely little waterfalls, and there's a stream that runs right through the glen which leads out to sea. Eventually we'll cut down onto the coast and walk along the coast and head up to Portencross Castle, which I'm sure you'll find enjoyable. So yeah, let's go. Let's get on with the walk, and it's a gorgeous day, so we're going to enjoy this. See you soon. Bye. We're currently mid-September and there's certainly signs of autumn on its way. The leaves are all on the ground and the leaves that remain on the trees are starting to change colour. Autumn's definitely my favourite season. I just think the colours are glorious. Began the walk at the train station in West Kilbride, so it's a great one if you don't have transport to get here. The train runs from Glasgow. You can get off at West Kilbride. The glen is just a 5-minute walk from the train station. The glen itself is maybe just under a mile, I'd say, down to the coast. You do have to cross the busy A78, which we'll see in a short while, so just take care crossing the road. We're down by the water now and it's just beautiful down here, very tranquil. And I think there's some sort of forestry school goes on in this part, because there's always logs and like a seating area for the children. So how cool would that be, having lessons down here in the woods? Contrasting green amongst the brown leaves. It's just beautiful. So I've headed out of the glen now. That's Arran, you can see in the distance. Heading down to the A78, which is the main bypass road to get north to Largs and Greenock and south to Ardrossan, and then it takes you onto the A77, which takes you further down the coast towards Troon and Ayr. So this was the busy A78 that I was telling you about. There's roadworks going on right now. I think they're renovating the pavements. And we've just crossed over and we're going to head down this lane which leads us to the beach. This house you can see in front of us, I'm sure it won Scottish Home of the Year. We'll walk around the front of it and have a closer look. Beautiful beach here at Seamill. It's a beautiful house. And we just come onto the beach here. You can see Arran right in front of us, with Goat Fell being the highest peak. And we are heading up the coast to that direction. It's beautiful. You do have to cross a burn here, but there's a little path through the grass and there's a bridge just around that corner, which makes it easier to cross because it is quite a deep burn. The Seamill Hydro Hotel, which I was telling you about, and I showed you a glimpse of it from the front. This is the back. You can see why it's popular with weddings. I think the wedding room is at the top there where the balcony is. And just look at that for an outlook. Absolutely beautiful. So peaceful. The Isle of Arran. Seamill Hydro. So the walk along this coast actually forms part of the Ayrshire Coastal Path, which is, I believe, around 104 miles long, starting in the south of South Ayrshire from Glen And A, all the way up to Skelmorley in the north of North Ayrshire. It's a wonderful walk, and I'm currently doing parts of it right now, trying to get the whole walk completed in the next coming months. So stay tuned for my videos on that. So I've just come from that direction, and the beach is very sandy until you start coming upon the rocks you can see here now. You can continue along the beach up to Portencross in that direction, because there is a little sandy stretch where you can see the people walking just there. So if you kind of skirt below the boulders, you can remain on the beach. However, if you don't want to scramble up the boulders, you get to this wonderful little path which runs adjacent to West Kilbride golf course. Just here you can see it's West Kilbride up on the hill. So I decided just to walk on the path. Hi everyone. So confession time. You may notice the tide is in. That's probably a giveaway. But up to the point I recorded back there, my phone decided not to work anymore, and so I couldn't record the rest of the walk for you. So I'm back out again 3 days later to walk the remainder of the walk again, so that I can record it for you and you can see where we are heading. So I do apologise. It's a little bit more cloudy today than it was the other day. Still just as warm, if not warmer actually. And as you can probably see, Arran isn't as clear today, but still gorgeous. Well, the tide is in and we've got a lot of seaweed ahead of us up here. I don't know if you can see that. And we do need to clamber over that. And I don't have my hiking boots on, so We'll see how it goes. But yes, I'm back out to record just for you. So let's go. Oh yuck. Just clambered over that seaweed there, and it was pretty deep, pretty wet and very smelly. So thank goodness we're over that now. So we've just got a little bit more seaweed ahead of us to get over. I'm going to turn you around actually. We go through the fence up there. Yeah, we should be almost at Portencross after that. I'm going to go through this gate. We'll take a look behind us. So the other day the tide was way out, kind of down to there somewhere. It's a huge beach when the tide is out. Tide is in today, as you can see, and yeah, the seaweed is very smelly. But we came down from that point that you can see that kind of juts out a little bit, and we've walked right along the beach, and that's West Kilbride sitting up on the hill which leads down to Seamill. See Portencross Castle just up in the distance, and there's a car park just before that which is free. I've come off the path a little bit because I can see quite a few cormorants against the backdrop of Arran and the sun getting lower in the sky. So I thought I'd take an opportunity to try and take some photographs of the cormorants and make a nice picture. Onto the path now. I just think the formation of the rocks here, obviously they're weathered by the sea over so many years. There's peaks and troughs, and I think it's over here somewhere. The ridges along here, it's just incredible. Red sandstone. And then you start getting the grass growing. White sandstone there. So the island that you can see straight ahead is Little Cumbria. No one lives on there. and to the left of that is part of the Isle of Bute, which sits behind Little Cumbria. So we've come from that direction and we're at Portencross car park. As you can see, there's a lot of car parking spaces. This is a great walk in itself if you just want a nice stroll along to the castle. It's all flat and this car park is free to park up in. There's lots of picnic benches at the front there and wonderful views to the Isle of Arran. So we'll just go this way. What you can see over in front of us there is Little Cumbria, where the yacht is sailing right past. Directly behind that, I don't know if you can see Little Cumbria Castle, which is derelict. It's kind of boxy looking, exactly the same as Portencross Castle. Somebody did buy that island a few years ago with the intention of perhaps building a spa on it. I'm not sure if that's still going to go ahead. We've got a fishing pier further along. Although in recent months the bad weather has made it not safe to be on, so the council have come along and put some bollards at the front to prevent people fishing on it. However, as you can see at the end, the fishermen are on it. Behind the pier you can see Great Cumbria and the only town on the island, which is Millport. Don't know if you can make that out behind the pier. That's a very nice island to take a walk around. All flat, although you can go over the top, which obviously would be a small hill to climb, but very popular for cyclists, a leisurely cycle around the island. Well worth a visit. This actually forms part of the Ayrshire Coastal Path still, which obviously we've walked along the beach, and that is part of the Ayrshire Coastal Path too. This eventually leads on to the small village of Fairley and then on to the larger seaside town of Largs, and then continues on up the coast to Skelmorley. If you were walking the coastal path, you would just continue on up there. It's pretty straightforward. And this is the pier that I was telling you about. The council has blocked it off just for safety reasons. However, people do still clamber over it. Don't know if you can see the big hole in the centre of the pier. I don't think I'd be brave enough to climb over this and get onto the pier. Coastal path goes along there and around the corner. Millport you can see in the distance on Great Cumbria, and that is Little Cumbria. There are nice boat trips out there to Little Cumbria in the summer. I did one last year and it was wonderful, and we got followed by Kylie the dolphin, a well-known dolphin in the area, and she followed us all the way from Largs over to Little Cumbria. It was fun. So we'll head back down that way, and our next stop is heading out of Portencross and up to West Kilbride train station where I left my car. So I'll see you in a little while. So we're heading away from Portencross now. That's a car park I pointed out just earlier. It's around a mile on this road, and as you can see there's a pavement all the way, single track road, and it gets quite busy because Portencross is quite a popular place for a stroll and for people to sit and enjoy the view, as there are a lot of picnic benches around Portencross. So we'll keep on going along this path. We're kind of heading away from the coast, but as I say, only about a mile or so, and then we cross the busy A78 and head into the village of West Kilbride. We're a little way along the path now, still heading up to the village, but as you can see in the distance there, that's West Kilbride sitting on the hill, running down to Seamill, which leads to the coast. So we walked the full coast around that bay to bring us to Portencross. If you wanted to do a shorter walk, you could park at Portencross Castle, the car park that I pointed out earlier. Walk along this road to follow that sign there leading down to the shore, which takes you just down to the beach down there, and then head back along the beach to Portencross car park there, which would be a beautiful walk, all flat, and possibly 2 miles maximum, I would say. 2.5 miles at the most. Do bypass the golf course, but you don't go through it, so it should be safe enough. You can see the path just leading down to the beach there.